Everybody, this is James,
Marco,
and Mikey.
And this is Movie Pals Podcast, episode 224. Today we're going to be reviewing Mortal Kombat II. Let's get it started.
You want to know what makes a hero? It's not destiny. It's not something you're born with. It's searching for greatness.
Johnny Cage, you have been chosen for Mortal Kombat.
Then realizing you've had it in you this entire time.
Mortal Kombat II sitting at 68% on Rotten Tomatoes and with a 90% audience score. The fan favorite champions, now joined by Johnny Cage himself, are pitted against one another in the ultimate battle to defeat the dark rule of Shao Kahn that threatens the very existence of Earthrealm and its defenders. Directed by Simon McQuad, who did the first Mortal Kombat in 2021. Written by Jeremy Slater, who did Fantastic Four in 2015, Death Note in 2017, James' favorite Moon Knight in 2022, and Godzilla Kong: The New Empire in 2024.
He's got some bangers there.
With a budget of $80 million and current box office of $60 million, movie was released May 6, 2026, so it's still in theaters. Starring Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, Adeline Rudolph as Katana, Jessica McNamee as Sonya Blade, Josh Lawson as Kano, Ludi Lin as Liu Kang, and Mehcad Brooks as Jax, along with a bunch of other people. So, some quick impressions here. We're going to start with our history with the Mortal Kombat games and our thoughts of the first movie in 2021. And I'll start with you, Mikey. What's your history with the Mortal Kombat games and your thoughts of the first movie?
Well, I played the first few Mortal Kombats. I was more of a Street Fighter guy, though, so I didn't really play the later versions. I've seen them being played, and I know the characters, and I watch a lot of the fighting tournaments and stuff, so I see the game here and there. So I know the characters. I just don't know if there was even a storyline. I think James said there was a storyline when I was talking to him about it, but I didn't know anything about a storyline.
Like the more recent ones kind of have more of a storyline, I think.
The originals just kind of had like a description of their background, and it kind of loosely told the story.
Yeah.
Makes sense. But as far as the first one goes, I thought it was pretty fun. It's just a fun movie. I didn't understand why Cole came and they didn't use like a main character as the main character, but they pulled off a pretty decent movie. I thought it was a fun movie, had good fighting scenes, and enjoyed it.
Right on. James, what about you? What's your history with the games and your thoughts of the first movie from 2021?
Yeah, I was just like Mikey, I was more of a Street Fighter kid, even though I'm terrible at fighting games. I just button mash. But Mortal Kombat, I remember playing like the first two mostly. I remember that was like a big deal, especially like even the Super Nintendo ones. I know the blood wasn't in one of them, or maybe both of them. I'm not even sure. That's how much I'm like loosely.
It was the Super Nintendo one. Sega had the blood.
But I think by Mortal Kombat 2, they added the blood back in, maybe.
Yeah.
I think so. Because I remember like just seeing fatalities when I was a kid. I was like, this is really violent, you know?
Yeah.
They had like that, like actual actors playing like the little characters, you know, so you can just see things. And you know, I get the little references, but I wasn't a big Mortal Kombat fan. But I played them on and off, like some of the newer ones a little bit, but nothing. I wouldn't say I'm like a hardcore fan or anything. I enjoy some fighting games. Like I said, it's just fun to just button mash, I guess, and just pretend to pull off combos. It's too hard for me. I don't remember all the buttons, Marco.
6 buttons. What the hell?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm like, too much. I'm not going to remember this. The 2021 movie, I thought it wasn't bad. Honestly, I did a rewatch too because I hadn't seen it since we saw it in theaters. That was like one of the first movies, like kind of middle of COVID, where we were like, hey, maybe it's normal life again. We'll see this together. But I agree. Cole Young is probably the weakest aspect of that movie. I don't know if we did a review of that. I think we might have done it.
I'm pretty sure we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. But it's definitely one of those things where a lot of style and substance over plot for me. I actually think the fight scenes in the first one are really cool still. There's a lot of cool moments. And honestly, it's a setup movie, which is weird because it's called Mortal Kombat. So you think it's a tournament, but it's just kind of like, this is the training montage for us to get to the next sequence of events. Overall, though, it's like Mike said, it's entertaining. So I actually enjoy my rewatch of it.
Right on. I'm kind of in the same boat with you guys as far as the games. I was more of a Street Fighter kid myself as well, but I did have a curiosity for Mortal Kombat. I mean, I would play it in the arcade, and I played the games, I think, up until the third one. And I did own it on, I had a Super Nintendo, so I owed the first two on Super Nintendo, and I was happy when the second one brought the blood back because I know there was a lot of backlash about that, but I had fun with it. I knew a lot of the characters, at least leading up to part 3. And then over time, I would just kind of keep tabs and kind of look to see what some of the new characters are. Like, I guess there's like a whole bunch now, some that I haven't even heard of now. So I'm just like, okay, sure.
There's so many, dude.
Yeah.
Even in Street Fighter, I'm like, dude, I don't even know any of these people anymore.
For real. But yeah, it was fun at the time. I know it was a big taboo because everyone was talking about like all the blood and stuff. Is one of the first like fighting games that was really like graphic, quote unquote, with the fatalities and the moves. But I thought it was really cool, kind of like James mentioned, that they use like real actors, and it gave the game a distinctive look. And even reading into some of the history and like how they were inspired by a lot of like 80s action movies and stuff to make the game, which is pretty cool. As far as the movie, the first one in 2021, I had a rewatch also. I still enjoyed it, man. I know Cole is the weakest link, and it kind of hinders the movie a little bit. He's kind of the odd man out and kind of like the perspective of the audience, but I don't think it really worked too well with it. And he is a sympathetic character, but it's just kind of like, dude, this is Mortal Kombat, dude. Like we don't really need this. And it's like they're both sides are just kind of trying to quote unquote cheat and trying to prevent, I guess, the tournament from even happening or winning before the tournament even starts. So it's like a tournament, but not at the same time. And you're just like, all right, just get to it. I want to see the levels.
It's like a series of like just fight scenes, basically. Like, okay.
Yeah. It's each side's trying to stop each other from even like making it to the tournament, basically trying to cheat. And I did like how it was a bit more grounded. Like just the very first appearance of like Sub-Zero was pretty cool. He just shows up and it's like snowing and he's like doing his stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. But overall, I still enjoyed it. It's still pretty.
I think those are some of the better sequences, the Scorpion Sub-Zero stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wish
in the
we had
first
more
movie.
of it.
Yeah, they did a really good job with both those characters. I thought.
I wish we had more of it. Honestly, that's because that final scene at the end is really cool too.
Truthfully, yeah, that is one of my critiques. Is like being Mortal Kombat fans, they're like, we want to see Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
Yeah, they're arguably like the most popular characters, I would assume, right?
100%.
Yeah, they gotta be.
Yep, them two, and then comes Raiden. So yeah,
and then probably like Liu Kang is. I've always liked Liu Kang too.
Liu Kang too, yeah.
Bicycle kick.
Mm-hmm. So, were you guys? This is an open-ended question. Were you guys excited for this movie, and were your expectations a little higher for this one?
Kind of. I guess I was 50-50. Because honestly, the trailers didn't look the greatest for this movie. And I don't know. I just early, like before I started, like I told you guys too, like I think Carl Urban was maybe a little bit too old for the role. Like they're doing like an older Johnny Cage. I kind of wish they had done like a younger Johnny Cage, honestly.
Where he's cocky, right?
Yeah, like the game.
Yeah.
Like that's how he is in the game, you know? Like I know that much at least, but I get it. So
Well, they even make a joke about it in the very
yeah,
he's at a Comic-Con or something like that, and there's like, dude, this guy got old.
yeah, exactly. Then I was like, yeah, he did.
Same. I was kind of thinking like you can't really get far with this character because of dude's age, you know. So it's kind of limited. But
yeah, he's 53 in real life too. So I'm kind of like, I mean, hey, I hope I can move around like that and do that thing. Like,
yeah,
Marco's done that before. The windmill.
I actually couldn't remember the trailer for this movie, and I didn't even bother to rewatch it because it wasn't really that memorable. So I was excited, but I had my expectations a little tempered. So
yeah, I wasn't excited for this one at all. Like I wanted to see it because I saw the first one. It's probably just gonna be a fun movie, but for these kind of movies where I know there's not gonna be, at least the first one didn't have a lot of storyline. I figured this wouldn't either. I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna go in with like no expectations. Just watch the movie, have some fun. So I didn't really have a lot of expectations going in.
Nice. With that said, Mikey, what was your brief thoughts of the movie and how was your theater experience?
I like this one. Like the first one, I didn't think it had very strong characters, but this one did have a little bit more storyline with some of the new characters. The introductions of the new characters were good. They brought back some old characters, which I was like surprised about. That was kind of cool. So overall, I had a really fun experience. I still wanted more character development, even from the old cast, because even the first movie doesn't really give a lot other than Cole. It doesn't really give a lot to the other characters. I thought maybe they would dive deeper into those a little bit, but didn't really get that. But overall, it was a fun movie. The theater had some people that were like laughing and having some fun. So, but it wasn't like there wasn't talkative people or people being rude or anything like that. So it was a pretty fun experience overall.
No dress ups.
No dress ups.
No.
How was it for you, James? How was your theater experience? And what were your thoughts on the plot?
Yeah, I saw it with Mikey, so same thing. But honestly, I wasn't a big fan, guys. After I sat with it a little bit longer, I thought it was pretty mid. There was a lot to it that it just didn't work for me. I still feel like we don't get enough time with the characters, character development wise. There's a lot of like the main focus now goes Johnny, but even then, I still felt like his arc was pretty short. They have like too many characters, which is weird. So I felt like a lot of them got fight sequences that look cool. Don't get me wrong. The fight sequences are awesome. I really like the fight sequences and choreography, but I don't know. For me, it just felt like really lackluster again. Like this time it's just a tournament straight up. And then it's just like, here's a series of fights and that's it. And I was like, once again, I get it. It's Mortal Kombat, right? And for most people, they liked it. But for me, I just wanted a little bit more. That's all. And I thought a lot of the sets looked cheap too. A lot of green screen was using this. Like that really stood out to me for a lot of the scenes.
My theater experience was pretty interesting. It started off with a guy sitting next to me on his phone for the first 30 fucking minutes of the movie. Like bright light and everything. And dude was like 6'3", 6'4", so I couldn't say anything because he obviously would kick my ass.
Or be Mortal Kombat in the theater.
Yeah, pretty much. I sized him up and I was like, I can't take this guy on.
It would have been like, I'm just Marco lose.
Pretty much, dude. I was like, dang. And I highly doubt Sonny, friend of the pod, I doubt he would have had my back. So he would have been like, well, that's his choice.
I mean, not trying to shit on Sonny, but yeah, probably not.
But and he kept leaving the theater in and out. And then finally, 30 minutes into the movie, he finally leave. He brought like a 7 and 8 year old, what looked like a 7, 8 year old kid to this movie, by the way. And I'm like, dude, this isn't Marvel. You know that there's going to be like bloody violence, right? And I don't think the kids could take it. So he finally left. And I was like, so that was the first 30 minutes of the movie. But aside from that, I had fun. I kind of leaned a little towards James. It was kind of mid. You really shouldn't expect much from this movie. There's no real character development. Well, I guess maybe for Johnny Cage, and that's it. But they couldn't really decide on who the main character was. You have Katana's story, then you have Johnny Cage. Only you should have just picked one.
Yeah,
and really,
I agree.
The whole marketing thing was focused on Johnny Cage, so you think we're gonna follow him, but we're following both him and Katana. And I just, not that Katana wasn't cool. I don't even think I've ever seen this actor before, but she did a great job. But it's just like, pick one character, or if you're gonna do that, maybe focus a little more attention on their background. You know, don't just give us a quick little 5-minute thing and then it's like, well, we're never gonna go back to that again. So aside from that, the fight scenes were cool, like these guys said, and yeah, I wish they would have saved some of that money for the CGI. That's about it.
Yeah, right. It was a little rough, and they
a lot of the scenes were rough too.
They reuse a lot of sets. I don't know if you noticed that, like that little main village area. They use it like 4 times.
Yeah. So with that, let's go into the plot, because it's not much plot really. Like we said, like it's it's the actual tournament, right?
Yeah.
You have Shao Kahn that is taken over, and he's trying to take over Earthrealm and trying to secure a win, because for some reason, if you win 10 battles in a row, you pretty much rule over that realm, which for some reason I thought that was already taken care of with the previous movie, but I guess we're continuing that into this movie. So, now it's
weird.
We're doing that again, I guess.
So, well, no, because the tournament hadn't happened yet, right? So the whole thing is like, they still have to do the tournament. Whoever wins the tournament gets the count. But the thing is, like, so if you win one, does it reset the counter?
That's what I would assume. Yeah.
Right? Because they're like, spoiler alert, obviously they win, but it's kind of like, it gets to where like, all right, we're safe now. Like, oh, they don't stay at 9 forever until they hit the 10. It's like, now you're back to 0.
Because they say 10 in a row, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I have the same question because at the beginning they said that they've been at 9 for the longest time, and if Shao Kahn wins again, then they lose the realm. That was whole Katana's story. But anyway, so that's pretty much the main plot of the story. What were you guys thoughts on that?
Well, actually, just to kind of just throw it out there, like I didn't even realize. Like I know you guys just said it, and I watched the movie, the first one, right before I watched this one, or a couple days beforehand. I didn't realize that they were like, I was like so confused on like how they're already at 10. Because I didn't realize they didn't actually count as the tournament for the first one.
No,
it was all pre-tournament stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I told you. It's literally a training movie. That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize that until you guys started talking about it. I was like, they didn't actually do the tournament. That's why they're at 10.
Yeah. The way they have to do it, Mikey, is like they're basically that first one, they're trying to like find their powers, remember?
Yeah. They are whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I guess if their champions are all eliminated and they have no champion, it's a forfeit. And that's what they were trying to do in the first one.
Right.
But again, I thought that technically counted as a win. So why would they still be on the verge of being taken over?
Yeah, I was in the same thing. Yeah.
So
no.
Anyway,
what didn't count?
did that work for you guys? What didn't work?
I mean, not really for me, honestly, because like, yeah, Johnny Cage, it's almost like a course reset for this one, right? Like they go to Johnny Cage now, which they should have just done in the first movie, because I feel like there's a lot of like backtracking, like, oh, I got fish out of water guy again, But I don't know. The Katana stuff was actually more interesting to me, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the Katana story, well, I think it's because you get more, right? She's like in the movie more than Johnny Cage is, actually, I think.
She has more of a character arc than everyone else, honestly, in my opinion.
Well, and the movie like begins with her and like, showing Shao Kahn a little bit with her whole like realm. And, obviously she's in throughout the movie here, and we'll talk a little bit more about spoilers in a little while.
That's why I wish they would have just picked, one or the other, because it just felt like this tug of war where you're following Johnny, who's basically the new Cole in this, like you guys said, but like it feels like a repetition of the first one, except it's a cooler guy. It's a character we actually know and care about.
Well, they just don't stay with anybody for long enough for you to actually get anything out of it. So you're just sitting there, you get a little taste, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. And then they just move on, and they come back and give you a little taste. They never actually like complete anything though. Like I feel like everything's just like there, but it's like they just need more of like sitting on a character and like going through it, and just using those side characters that we got from the previous movie. They could have just been fights, and you didn't really need to do anything with them. So
I think it's because Carl Urban, coming off The Boys and everything's a lot more popular. So obviously that's why it was marketed that way. Because like Adeline Rudolph, I've only seen her in like some TV shows. The Resident Evil Netflix show is the biggest one I can remember.
She kind of felt a little more comfortable with Katana versus I felt a little
forced.
A little forced with Johnny Cage.
Yeah, I felt the same thing.
It felt like Carl Urban just couldn't really find his groove with the character.
Probably because he's 53 years old.
Yeah, and he's not really washed. He's still, again, he's star of The Boys. So
he's solid. I mean, I
whereas
loved him in Dread.
Katana, just her lines, her story just felt more fluid, even during her training. And what I'm not going to give it away, but she, what she's going through in the movie, which I'll say in spoilers, it just felt a little bit more earned than what Johnny Cage was going through. Thoughts on any of the other characters, though, guys, like Shao Kahn or anyone else?
I really feel like Shao Kahn got invincible too fast. Like he does it like right away.
A little too early, right?
And it's like, okay, well, you could have like proved that he was like a good warrior, like get a kill in, and then like progressed his character a little bit more. Like, okay, well, I already proved that I'm good. Now I need to be even better, right? So or something like that. I don't know, but they just did too much of like on the spot. He got the amulet. He's invincible. And now no one can kill him.
You kind of wanted like a Thanos where he was like show up and he's just collecting the freaking Infinity Stones, one realm after another.
He is like a beast, though. I will say, like he is monstrous. I did like his character design too. Like he really does look like the character, and he's like nightmarishly, freakishly large. Dude, like he seems unstoppable. So a lot better than the '90s version of him. So.
Yeah, it did sort of feel like the game too, where in like Mortal Kombat 2, he's kind of like in the background, just watching the fights happen, and kind of like overseeing it and everything. We kind of are introduced with what a big threat he is at the beginning, and I think that's like enough. You don't want to overuse him.
That fight in the beginning is pretty intense.
Yeah, he's the big boss, he's the big bad, so you want to kind of like save him for that. Anyone steal the movie for you guys?
Kano.
Yeah, anytime Kano's on scene, that's my favorite character, probably, honestly.
Yeah, he's so funny when he's going through like what he's trying to save Earth for. He's just like, I love beer and I love this and I love this.
He's like Jack and Coke, sometimes just Coke. And I was like, dude, my man. He's like an Australian comedian, right, or something in real life. Yeah, that dude's funny. He's super funny, dude.
He was on point with Bihan, or is it Bihan? I can't really tell.
Yeah, I liked when he said that because I'm like, honestly, I don't know either, man.
I also think that he kind of hindered Johnny Cage, though, right? Because I think Johnny Cage, he was trying to go that route, and then every time Kano was on the screen, like you kind of took a back seat. So I feel like if Kano wasn't there, Johnny Cage could have been much better.
I love how they explained how he's back. He's like, why isn't he like a zombie? Like, he has no soul.
Dude, when you kept picking on the dude also that brought him back, I was just like, oh my God,
man.
I could
Golem scrotum or some shit.
Just every line, man. I just wanted him to just take up.
I'm
the
like,
whole screen.
hey, let's just have a movie for Kano. No, I agree. Though.
Any of the newcomers that catch your eye, or any of the returning characters?
Cole has about 3 minutes of screen time in this movie.
Dude, I don't even dirty, man.
Does he even have a line?
Yeah, he says something about his family. He's like, I said bye to my family. I'm like, I noticed that was off screen. It was cool, that sequence with Johnny Cage showing off like his like 80s, 90s film that he's in. Just like how cheesy it is. I'm like, that's cool. And then the posters are like obviously throwbacks to 80s, 90s films too. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And newcomer for me again, Katana, because I never really played that character much in the video game. I don't know. I didn't really see her as cool, but she was pretty cool in the movie. And I like they got to play her because she was awesome.
She was good. Yeah, she was actually really good.
For not having much under her belt, I was like, yeah, pretty good. Anyone wasted besides Cole?
Sub-Zero?
Yeah. Well,
he was weak in this one.
Noob Saibot, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like in the first one, I loved him because they did all the ice stuff. He was really cool. And this one, they kind of just wasted. Like, I didn't even see ice at all, really.
I'm surprised they did that because that happens later in the games, right? That's like Mortal Kombat X or something. And I'm like,
maybe. Noob Saibot character's been around. I think he was like a secret character. He's basically the creators' their last names backwards, like Ed Boon and Tobias.
Nice.
That's the name backwards.
I'm like, dude, just bring him back.
That's how much, like, I don't know a lot about Mortal Kombat, but I knew enough that I was like, oh, that's Ed Boon, like the fucking bartender, for God's sake. I was like, that's a fucking creator of Mortal Kombat. I'm like, that's so random that he has I was like, that's why. I wish we had more Scorpion too. We only get him briefly again. I'm like, dude, does Hiroyuki Samada have like a contract where he's like, I can only be on screen for 10 minutes in each movie? That's all you get.
Yeah, dude.
Like, dude, give me a little more. He's freaking awesome, dude. Honestly, well, I'll talk about it in spoilers, but
it would have been, it would have been great to just kind of see the Sub-Zero and Scorpion feud a little bit more. But
it seems like nobody really dies in these films, though. Anybody can just come back, apparently.
Oh, the Necromancer.
They kind of established that. But we'll do more than spoilers. So thoughts on the look of the film? I know, James, you were kind of saying how the green screen stuff.
Yeah, it was a little too obvious at times, honestly. Like some of this, like I said, some of the sets were cool. They reuse a lot of them, but there's a lot of moments where like a lot of the areas they go to are really barren. Like there's nothing, you know. Especially there's like a throne room scene where it's just like, oh, this is super green screen. The whole thing, man.
It was either super CGI green screen or they were like on a soundstage set and it was just so small.
Yeah,
like
that's
not
large
scale.
That's what I agree with you on that, Marco. It seemed like a lot of it was like just either like a soundstage for everything, honestly, because nothing seemed massive or big. Nothing that's all.
I did like the look of some of the stages from Mortal Kombat, though. Like,
yeah,
I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I remember that stage. I wish they would have made them look a little more, I guess, realistic or with better CGI.
Yeah, and because there's like, at least in the first movie, we get a little bit more, you know, there's that forest scene or the guy driving with his car through and the Sub-Zero's showing up, and
yeah,
it's got a little bit more. I mean, I'm not saying there's much more. It was made during COVID, for God's sake, so. But there was a little bit more of that, and then this time around, it was just like, oh man, this is just. Especially they go to hell at one point. It's just like, oh well, this is just all CG too.
I think I don't know
and they only find out
like
one little mountain spot. I'm like, that's it.
Yeah, the acid pit area and the dungeon with the spikes were probably my two favorite.
Yeah, but they're so small. That dungeon with
Dude,
the
it's the
spikes
size
is
of
like
my
a
room.
4x4 room, dude. It's like it's not even the size of my room. It's like half of my room, maybe.
She's like, watch out,
Dude.
we got a 5x5 foot here. We don't hit the spike.
We couldn't fight in that room, guys. We'd be too. I
couldn't even fit in the room. Like I would just be touching both sides.
Yeah, you'd
I'm
be
a large man. I'd just be like,
whoa, sorry guys. Well,
okay.
Sorry.
Speaking of fights, were any of the fights disappointing, Mikey? And were there any fatalities that you like?
The most disappointing fight, in my opinion, is Johnny Cage versus Katana, because he's not even like Johnny Cage yet. He's like trying to fight even being himself and like fighting in the tournament at that point. So he's like running around the whole time. He just gets his ass beat. And, I mean,
it was kind of a waste.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, I get it, but it wasn't very entertaining.
That should have been like just a training with him and his group, and then he gets into a first fight. He's not bad, but he's not good, and then gets his ass whooped. That would have been a little better, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, that would have worked a little, at least pacing wise too, because it seems like such a waste of a loss too, right?
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that counted. I was like, damn, that was barely a fight.
And what was your guys' favorite fatality?
Probably the end one. I'll talk about spoilers probably.
All right.
That one I thought was pretty sick.
Someone gets his head smashed with a big ass hammer. That's my favorite one, I think.
That one was pretty sick, dude. The whole theater was like, "Durr!" I was like, no goodbyes for that guy. So, but
I like the stuff used during the Liu Kang and Kung Lao fight.
That was a really cool fight.
That was cool.
Yeah,
that was probably
actually
the best
cool.
fight of the movie, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
I think the Baraka
Sonny
fight's pretty cool.
Sonny told me that whole fight was spoiled and released on YouTube also.
Was it?
The Liu Kang and Kung Lao, yeah. I was like, damn, dude. That's fucked up.
Can I just say Liu Kang in general is kind of cool? We didn't talk about him before, but like he got like way more powers now for somehow. I mean, he had him in the first one, but he's
fully unlocked.
He's really cool. I like his I wish we got more of him or knew a little bit more about him in this movie, because it's kind of like, okay. Because he kind of already showed up even in the first movie, kind of OP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's the warrior.
Yeah, he's like, the old movies used to be based on me. So, but
I know, we've been critiquing the film quite a bit, but do you guys feel like this was an improvement from the first one in 2021? Or is this movie made only for Mortal Kombat fans?
I feel like you can get some enjoyment out of it, not knowing Mortal Kombat. If you just like fighting scenes and you're okay with that kind of a skimpy storyline, I think you'd be okay with this one. I think you'd enjoy it still.
I guess I'd have to ask somebody that just watched. I don't know. I feel like you'd have to be somewhat of a fan, or at least a fan of the first movie too, to kind of want to see this. Honestly,
I kind of think so too. I think it is still an improvement too, just because we get more of the fights and the rounds. You know, we get some of the catchphrases from the video game, like fight or finish him, things like that.
Yeah, to a point. There's stuff in the 2021 version too, like when Kano wins, man.
I think he has a heart in his hand. Yeah,
yeah, Mayor.
For a fight movie, I think a casual person might still enjoy it if you're not looking for plot, really.
That's where
if you're just looking for some really cool fights.
Yeah, that's where, like, for me though, I think it almost takes a step back. I almost think there's more of a plot in the first one, which is not much to begin with. Just with like the story arc overall, that's just how I feel about it. Just like, and that was a little bit more enjoyable for me, honestly.
Well, like Marco said, it's Cole's like the audience point of view, and you stick with them the whole time, so it just works.
That's just
the split lead role between Katana and Johnny, I think, is what hinders it a little bit.
Oh, 100%. Because like you said, they should have just committed to one, man.
Yeah.
Like, show me all of Johnny. Just let's follow Johnny. Let's not keep going back to someone else randomly and then coming back to him like 15 minutes later. Like, oh, dude, what the heck,
Yeah. Anything else that stood out in the film before we go to our ratings, guys, and into spoilers?
I was going to say the fight with Baraka, I think, was pretty cool just because, like, Johnny kind of just figures it out a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That one. Although his move is kind of weird, but I think that's from the game, obviously. Like I know the nut shot is definitely his like special move. So
Yeah. It's
I don't know if the
also, I think,
windmill
one of his
arm-
fatalities.
I don't know what the windmill arm thing is, but when I just saw that, I was like,
That kind of reminded me of like when you do those repetitive punches in the game.
It looks
kind of
silly,
I was
though.
like, it does. But I was like, oh, what's
I give him a little like a little smirk too. Well,
yeah.
He's like,
I
I
was trying
can't
to
fight, but I
confuse
can
him,
act
I
like
don't
I
know.
can fight. It's like, what?
so is that like his power then? Basically, is that when he discovers his power? Or is it near the end? That is.
It's later on, I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
later
That's
on.
just where he gets the confidence to fight, and he embraces Johnny Cage. But I like that real quick that they used practical effects with Baraka also.
Yeah, it's kind of
That's
weird
pretty
looking. They're creepy, and
Yeah.
his like reaction to them is funny. He's like, "Oh," when he walks into the kids.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh," I was like, "Oh, that's messed up. They can't help it."
All right. Let's go over our ratings of the film. We'll start with you, James. What do you rate Mortal Kombat 2?
Like I said, it's pretty mid for me, guys. This was a 3 out of 5. I think there's good action sequences in it, but I don't know if you necessarily need to rush out to theaters to see this, unless you're like a really hardcore Mortal Kombat fan.
That tracks. What about you, Mikey?
I also gave this one a 3. I enjoyed it. I had fun, but there's not a lot to like recommend a movie on. Like, go see it if you're a fan, but other than that, if you just want to see some brutal action, that's really the only reason to see it.
Well, we're gonna hit the trifecta, guys. I also give it a 3 stars. To me, it's still fun. I think if, like what you guys said, if you're a huge Mortal Kombat fan, I think it's worth to go see it in theaters and see these characters fight on the big screen. You know, again, temper your expectations on plot and just go for the fights and for the fun. All right. So we have entered our spoiler section. So if you have not seen the movie, you can go ahead and fast forward to our outro, or if it doesn't matter to you, stick around. So, what was the biggest surprise or death for you guys? I think we kind of spoke about one already.
Was it surprising though? Like I knew it was going to happen.
I thought they'd kill him at the end, at least. And we're talking about Cole, the main character from the first one, who
He just gets his head smashed in like bad.
as soon as he was put against
Invincible
Shao
Shao Kahn.
yeah, Shao Kahn, and like he got the invincibility code or whatever, the Konami code. I was like, oh, dude, he's fucking toast, right? He's not coming back.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
I knew. I was like, damn, this is how they're going to kill him too. I was like, I didn't know he was going to get his head smashed in. I was like, oh my God, dude. Like, oh my God, like instant, right?
Him and actually Jax also was kind of surprising too. I thought he'd at least make it to the third one, but they're like,
I think he
Especially
died
because
before in
they
the
did him dirty in the
games,
first
too.
one already.
Getting his arms frozen off
Yeah, it's like, gee, man.
by Sub-Zero. True.
And also-
which-
for a minute, I thought they were going to make Cole just like the new Scorpion because younger actor.
I thought
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
That me and Mikey talked about
Yeah.
that. I thought when they went to hell, they were going to find him down there, and he was going to take over the mantle.
Which he should, which they still
still
technically
could.
could, because
Yeah.
if they bring him back and then it's him, because the other guy, he's at Scorpion was pretty much at peace, pretty much at the end. So I mean,
Well, he's killed like Sub-Zero twice now. He's like, dude, I got to do this again.
Yeah, he's like, no, too much.
I like even though Noob Saibot wasn't the greatest one, I did like his whole like black look. It looked kind of creepy, honestly. I thought that was kind of
yeah,
cool.
and his whole like teleporting thing was pretty cool too.
And then he can split himself between the two, and it's kind of like two different people that they're fighting, or three, I guess, technically.
It reminded me of Terminator, Dark Fate
Oh, did-
with a T-1000.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, the Shao Kahn fatality is my favorite. When Kitana blades open his freaking skull and the brain is just in there. It's like, oh my God, dude.
Dude, yeah, let's talk about that ending with her fight against Shao Kahn. I think it was set up pretty well with her with her story, because I mean, I know we said there's two main characters, but she's probably like the 1A and Johnny Cage is like the 1B. Truthfully,
Yeah,
I'd
like
say that,
she,
yeah.
we start with her. It's her technically revenge story, and then we see her working in the background as a double agent between Shao Kahn's forces and and also was it Earthrealm?
She's partnered with
Earthrealm, the Earthrealm
Raiden
forces.
and stuff.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool to see her like put herself in that danger, though. I mean, she was super sus though the entire time, and it eventually,
I'm like, come on.
yeah, eventually leads to her being the one facing Shao Kahn. And what did you guys think about that fight in the ending? I know you like the fatality, James. What about you, Mikey?
Yeah, no, I agree. I like the fatality, and just the fight itself. It kind of shadows or mirrors what happened in the very beginning of the movie with her dad. So
Yeah,
it's
it's a nice
the same, almost not really the same fighting style, but like there's a lot of things that happen the same. Like he stabs him like 4,000 times at one point, and she does the same thing with her, her fans. So there's a lot of like mirrored stuff there that was pretty cool. The fight itself was nice too.
To the ribbon too, and the fact that they actually use that, and that's how she's able to like overpower him and then do her fatality on him, which yeah, is super awesome and gory, but I loved it. I like that too. It's just like, oh yeah, it's the ribbon thing, where she was like, anything's a weapon.
Yeah, it's weird because like she like switches sides, so like they get a point back, which is weird. I'm like, all right, that's kind of cheap, but
I don't think that really is how it works. But okay.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, we're just gonna let that happen because like Liu Kang kind of dies, or he kind of just.
No, he I think what he said, he was like, I'll see you guys in part 3, and then flies away as a dragon.
Yeah, somebody said he's not technically dead, like he's gonna come back as like a fire god or some shit. And I was
he's like,
okay,
that's the Phoenix, right?
That
It's a fire Phoenix. He's gonna
I think that
reborn.
happens to him in the game, and he said he's gonna go grab Kung Lao, he's gonna do CPR on him or something.
Yeah, or glue him back together. Actually, that was a cool fatality too, by the way.
Some reversal.
Yeah, where he purposely lets him grab him because he's just like, oh, like, and then he like kind of like backs out of it to let him go, and he just hits a damn spinning hat again. I was like, ooh,
yeah, that is Kung Lao's fatality in the game too, and I was like, oh snap, it's a reversal of his thing. Damn.
I'll tell you one character. Jade is not really like used too much. She was kind of one of the more underused characters in this one too. Like,
yeah.
It's kind of like it's almost like Marvel, where like these are like Thanos' daughters, right? Like Nebula, fucking Gamora. So it's like, okay, but she's kind of bad, but then she's the good because like she gets spared by Jax. So
yeah,
and randomly,
she's part of the good guys now.
And randomly, Katana has an actual real life twin sister. So could she be Melina?
They didn't have her in this one though, so
right,
I'm
yeah.
like,
well, they killed her in the first movie.
Oh, was that her in the first? That's
was
right.
she in that
Yeah.
one? Oh,
Yeah,
I
Melina's
forgot
in
about
the
I
first
forgot
one.
about that. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, she has
and I
that
was
weird.
like, aren't they supposed to be twins?
She's the one with the
she had
face, the weird face.
Yeah,
yeah.
the weird face that opens up. Yeah.
That was her. Oh, she didn't even look like her character from the game. Then, didn't she supposed to be
No.
purple?
Yeah, they're supposed to be like opposites, kind of like.
But that's why she wears the
Sub-Zero and
mask, because when
Scorpion.
she takes the mask off in the game, you see that her face is all disfigured, right?
Yeah,
That makes sense. Okay.
I mean, maybe
Okay.
they'll retcon it. Who knows? I mean, they killed freaking Cole in this one, so they can do whatever
I
they
still
want.
think that he's open to come back, though. They'll do like a redemption arc for him or something.
So let's talk about that. They obviously left it open for a sequel. So what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, they're definitely going to probably do it if this does a little better. So,
I mean, it
It
don't
was
make money,
like-
right? Because they're at 60 already. They only paid 80.
yeah, it might be updated from there. Like, dude, and 80 million for this honestly was kind of low, and that's why I can kind of understand. Like, honestly, they might want to give it more of a budget for the next one, just to kind of
Yeah.
clean up some of this stuff,
Well,
or open up like some more vast areas would be kind of cool, you know?
Yeah, I saw the 9 p.m. show at the JBX in Vacaville, and it was pretty full still.
Was it? Ours was.
Yeah.
Ours was okay on Thursday, Mikey. Right? It was.
Yeah, it was
decent,
like maybe a third full,
yeah, it
which is
wasn't
pretty good for the
packed.
IMAX one.
Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
it was for us too. It was like a third full also.
Like I said,
Maybe a
there was
little bit more.
enough people that we knew, like, oh, this is a decent amount. But yeah, I could see. I mean, I don't know where they're gonna go with it. I don't know enough of Mortal Kombat lore. I'd assume they'd probably bring maybe like the good Sub-Zero on the next one would probably be a character. Like, because I know the next one up is supposed to be kind of a good guy.
Oh, the maskless one where he reveals his face.
He's got like a
That one.
scar on his face, I think, too.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
Yeah.
cool, man.
Bihan's son.
And
Is that his son?
I have no idea. I just made it up. So.
I know he's from the clan. I don't know if that's his son or not. Once again, I don't know enough about it, so
Right.
can we get Smoke in the third one, please?
I don't even know his like where he's from, dude. So
Ooh.
Is he gonna look like the Scorpion version, or is he gonna look like the robot version? There's like variations of him, right?
Yeah, dude, I hope he looks like the. Well, I guess it would be too repetitive if you looked at the Scorpion version. I'm sure they'll go for the later look.
Yeah, they only did that originally, I know, because it was just like a palette swap. That's why it was like a secret character.
Yeah, and can we get like Reptile to come back because he was kind of wasted in the first one? But
yeah,
I mean, it didn't really feel like Reptile though, in my opinion.
Seriously, and like
So
now
it's
that
like,
they've opened the door that like anyone can come back, basically.
They could bring him back and he's like a human.
Well.
You're
I
like,
wonder if
wait,
they'll
what?
do.
How does that work?
I almost wondered too, though, because like technically Johnny Cage and Sonya are supposed to have like a romance and they have a kid, right? So I'm like, I wonder, but it seems like too old now.
And they had no chemistry, really.
None at all. He tries a little bit, like kind of being a machoistic kind of like some quotes at her, but nothing ever landed. I'm like,
I don't understand why they didn't just grab Glenn Powell to play Johnny Cage.
Yeah, someone younger,
very charismatic. It seems like in his wheelhouse, you know. He
probably
probably
more
would have been a
expensive.
little less expensive. Yeah, a little cheaper too. On the
maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know. I think it would be more expensive, to be honest.
I think it would have been more pricier, yeah, because he's. Well, after that Running Man, they probably could have got him for cheap.
True.
Hey man,
Oh,
2 bombs
man.
in a row. Maybe it's time for some Mortal Kombat. This was filmed a while ago, though. I think so. This was
Yeah.
originally supposed to come out last year, I think, right? And it got delayed.
Yeah.
I believe.
Did it?
Yeah,
Right.
it was like October or something like that, right? October,
Yeah,
November area.
I think
Yeah.
so. And then I think it got pushed to like February, March, and then it got pushed again to summertime. It got delayed like twice. Don't quote me on it, but I think so. But yeah.
Can we get old version of Shang Tsung too in the third one, who also got sidelined in this movie?
Did he die at the end? No, right?
No, he just got pushed.
Yeah.
He just got force pushed by Raiden.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
we
when he
never
woke
saw him.
And then he never showed up again.
Yeah.
Dude, there's parts where like it didn't make a lot of sense. Like, didn't Sonya, wasn't she also in that throne room fight, but somehow she got out of there? Like, it's never explained.
No, she gets kicked down or something like that. She gets knocked out or something.
That's at the very end fight. I'm talking about when they first are trying to get the medallion.
Oh, they've split up for some reason, and they find it in like 2 seconds after they split up.
Yeah, but then Sonya
Yeah, that's
comes
right.
and gets
They're finding the
whooped,
time
and then
stone.
you never see how she gets back. She's just there.
Yeah.
I'm like, is there a director's cut of this? I'm like, I don't even know how she survived. She just showed up during the meeting. I was like, what the hell? I thought they captured you.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. That is our review of Mortal Kombat 2.
Thank you, Marco. That wraps up episode 224 of the Movie Pals podcast. Marco, actually, while you're at it, let everyone know how to keep up with us.
You can find us on every major podcast platform, so follow and listen wherever you like. For links to all our socials and more, head over to linktr.ee/moviepalspod. That's linktr.ee/moviepalspod. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button and get over here so you never miss an episode.
And check us out on TikTok at moviepalspod for sneak peeks, quick takes, and behind-the-scene clips. And coming up next, episode 225, where we'll be reviewing The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Thank you, Mikey. And if you enjoyed this episode, drop us a rating and share it with a friend. It helps us out a ton. Thank you for listening. This is the Movie Pals signing out.